All right, we're gonna do a complete from garage/storage onto trailer, hooking it, trailering it, launching it, using it, putting it back on the trailer, and putting it back in. And my thought process is, by maybe you watching me operate my boat, you can get some good ideas and you can drop some good ideas for myself in the comments. And hopefully we'll all learn something today and it'll be a mutual exchange. Anyway, I keep my boat where I keep my business storage, and it's pretty light today, so it'll actually be real easy to just slip it on out. And what I do to haul it is a 5x8 Tractor Supply Co. trailer that is just for my business. There's some cheap jet ski trailers around town for a few $100 that look like they'd be a better option, but this is what I use because, well, it wasn't free, but it kind of is in this situation. Anyway, I try not to drag it. I used to drag it a lot more, so I have a $20 furniture dolly, and I just slip it under the pontoons. I just picked this up from Walmart because the Hyper Tough 30-inch is the perfect size for those two. They almost look like trailer bunks for those two edges right there to go right under the pontoon. Now we have to get the boat ready for the highway, because if I try to drive it down like this, well, I'm pretty sure that I'd anger some fellow road goers. I've got a bike in there, which complicates things. Long story, I locked my keys out of my work truck here, and I had to walk 2 miles back home, get my bike, ride it 2 miles to get the spare key. Anyway, let's start putting this stuff up in the bed of the truck, and I'll tell you exactly what I leave on when I do trailer it. All right, so we've got all the loose items in there. Some of the things I leave on is the nav light. That never really comes off. Not too worried about it. Just these little mooring ropes, just paracord, perfect for the size cleats. I actually do leave on the trolling motor. I leave on the clamp-on rod holders, the clamp-on light right here, and I leave the fish finder in there, and it'll ride like that. However, I charge my battery in my laundry room, then I bring it here, I strap it down using this that came factory with the boat, and that'll actually tuck everything in there, and it trailers perfectly, no issues, and I'll show you that process. That was probably a good time to mention that everything on this boat you can find in the link below. A lot of people ask what is what, and I've just made a big fat list, including the floor, the camo, the trolling motor, the box, the battery in the box, everything for your convenience. All right, so the reason this works is because I do strap that big heavy battery with the big fat battery box around it, and then I stuffed an old PFD in here that I don't really use. And then that does a really good job of hiding all the cords for not only the trolling motor, but the fish finder and the transducer. So it all kind of sandwiches in there, plus all these clamps kind of keep it from flying out. And once you've secured this battery down, nothing moves. I've trailered it down many times, as you've seen in videos in the past. And this is, I've found, for me at least, the easiest, cleanest way to get it down the road. You could leave the fish finder on, but I just press that one button, take it off, and tuck it in there, because why not? All right, now let's talk about strapping it down. Pretty simple, actually. I run one medium-duty ratchet strap through these hand holes, which these did not come on the boat, so I'm not exactly sure what I would do if I didn't have these. It would be a different situation, but adding these on really helps secure the boat to the trailer. But for my particular trailer, you can only, or at least I only, not anchor it. We'll attach it to this point right here, run it through. I'll show you. But point is, super simple. Super, super simple. Do it on the same. These handles, these came factory. Just wrap them around, and there, I'll go ahead and do it and show you how it's supposed to look. All right, pretty simple. Like I said, just ran it through there. I ran it up through here. I do run it over the trolling motor to really pin it down so there's less movement. I tie a little knot that will come undone when I just pull it like that, so that's nice. And for this guy, I don't do the same knot because you can actually loosen it and reuse it without having to retie a knot when you put it back on the trailer. It's a little hack I found. So I leave that one. I do not do the same thing because otherwise I'll get them mixed up and they're different lengths. So all I do for this one, same with my mooring line, is I just stuff it in the rod holder and no wind really gets to it. Not a whole lot of wind gets to this boat back here. I've never even had the foam down there fly out. So that works really well. And this is basically how I trailer it. However, if you've seen the last shipwreck video, I had some trouble getting it back onto the trailer because the tide was low and made the boat ramp really steep because I had to go so far down it. And this thing likes to slide off on the trailer. So I'm gonna come up with something that I can use to get it out of the water, but we will worry about that in a little bit. All right, it's time to trailer. I'm gonna load this back up and I'll see you at the boat ramp. Okay, so I actually had a couple carabiners and some rope. So I did make this little thing right here. And my idea is when I first pull it out of the water onto the trailer, I won't have to like hold it with one hand while simultaneously trying to run that strap through. The idea is that I can just take this like that and use it, pull it, slide the boat up, attach it right here, keep it on the boat, pull it out of the ramp, and then be able to strap it down. Every day, or not every day, almost every day when I take this thing out, I always try to come up with little things like this to make my life a little bit easier. That's why it looks like the way it does, because I'm lazy. I like it to be easy. So this will be a real life, real time modification that we'll test out today. But this might be pretty good for basic utility trailers. All right, we made it to the boat ramp. We made it to a mega boat ramp. And I don't like big, long, narrow boat ramps when I'm dealing with a utility trailer because these things suck to back up. But basically what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get the boat completely ready. I mean, no one's here. I could technically do this down there, but it's pretty steep, you'll see. So I'm gonna get the boat ready. I'm gonna undo all of the straps. We're gonna test out the new little contraption here, and either that boat's rolling down the boat ramp or it'll work, so we'll see. And I just hook up my fish finder right the exact same way as the trolling motor. Yep, powered right on. Strapping, we'll leave our knots, that way we can just super easily put it right back on and cinch it up and be on the road. Now usually I would leave my front strap attached, but we're gonna try this thing out and we'll see what happens. Now, I like to shove everything as far back as it can go just because it'll slide back there anyway when you're on any sort of relatively steep ramp. Looks like my little contraption held very nicely. Look at that. Now in theory, all I gotta do is pull it up, unhook it, push her in. Damn it.
Oh.
That worked really well. Now, as far as actually operating on the water, it's as simple as using the trolling motor. You know, left goes a certain direction and right goes the other direction. There's not really too much to it. I also moor it or tie it up to a dock the same way you would any regular boat. I approach docking and everything the exact same way you would with just a normal vessel. Other than that, I won't waste your time with on the water operation just because there's nothing to really even talk about. Could have backed up the trailer a little more.
That's okay.
Definitely could have backed up the trailer a little more. All right, come up here. I want to test my new contraption. Oh! No way. Now we can pull it up and load the boat out of the boat ramp and on level land. My little contraption worked flawlessly. That reduced the time on the ramp exponentially. And, you know, it's always good to practice getting out of the way as quick as possible, in and out, even though literally every time I use my boat, there's almost nobody at the ramp. Okay, so the first thing I do is gotta cut the power. You could do this down there, but I just like to get in and out of the way. There. Basically, all we're gonna do, put all the loose items that we already did before, just throw them back in, ratchet strap it the same way, and we're good to go. Unhook everything, then I'm gonna put everything back in the boat, and then I'm gonna put it in the unit. Now this is where I take the battery out, put it back in the truck, take it home and charge it. That out. And there you have it. Not perfect, but that's exactly what I do to operate my mini boat. Let me know what you do. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully I'll learn something from you. See you next time.